folks, I am Becky with Enduring Finances. Welcome to my channel. Today we are taking a look at my budget and goal breakdown for the month of December 2024. This is my last update for December and how I did as far as saving money, budgeting my money, and goals that I set for myself. Hopefully you guys checked out the big video that I did on Tuesday where I broke down all of my big goals for just life, last year and this next year in 2025. If not, feel free to go check that out and kind of see where I'm headed, where I'm trying to go with life. But let's go ahead and take a look at the goals that I set for myself for December and how I did accomplishing those. Again, we have our top one is actually just kind of like being healthy, walking or working out every single day. This did not happen. December was a horrible month for that. We just had recurring sicknesses, and it was like I was sick, Jess was sick, our daughter was sick, our daughter was sick, Jess was sick, our daughter was sick, I was sick, and it just did not happen. There were so many days when our daughter was home from preschool and I was watching her, and it just did not happen. Second goal that I had was to book my first guest, potentially, through my rental house, and I knocked this goal out of the park. I booked up essentially the second that I started accepting reservations for the rental house. There was only one night in December where it was not booked, and that was a personal choice. They wanted to do a one-night stay right in the middle of the weekend, and that would have meant I would have had to leave and go do a changeover and then come back, and it just didn't work with our schedules. So only one night since I listed the house and started accepting guests that it has not been booked up. So we did fantastic with that. One of the guests that I had was stayed there for 2 weeks, which really impacted my next goal, which was to rank all of the leaves at the house. Did not happen because they came in and I stopped going because they're there. I wanted to do one Rover article. This has been on my list of things to accomplish for months. It did not happen. In all of the love that I had, caring for a sick child, being sick myself, doing changes with the rental property, going in and changing out bedding and all these things in between tenants, impeded my ability to do this. Let's just be quite honest. I also was looking to get a part-time job. I have applied to multiple different positions. I have at least one interview set up for January and two more potentially. One of them's part-time, the other two are full-time, but it's been a tough job market there, so I'm going to interview and continue applying and see what happens. The one thing that we did get to do mostly was enjoy the holidays, Christmas, New Year's Eve. We were sick on Christmas, so we didn't have a lot of people come over, but on New Year's Eve we went to just family house and played games and just had a great night there. So I'm going to count that for the win because we were still able to enjoy Christmas as a family. Pretty good overall. Let's take a look at the goals that I'm setting for myself for this next month, January 2025. Alright, so we're continuing on with healthy lifestyle, walking and working out every day. I've got a fitness plan. I'm going to try and follow it to the best of my ability. My goal is to lose 5 pounds in January for my future wedding date. We're trying to lose, I think, 25 pounds total, so 5 pounds this month would be fantastic. I went to rebuild my photography website. I had some changes last year and transitions that did not go well with Bluehost. I will be completely honest. The idea was to transition it from one account to another account and merge them together, and I ended up losing pretty much everything from my website. So that is disheartening, and it's been on my list of things to rebuild, and I just have not had time to rebuild my photography website. So that is my goal, is to crank out some time just rebuilding that and kind of get that functioning again. And then I want to have one weekend away for fun, even if it's just one day. I want to have a fun day, whether it's with Jess or Jess and our daughter, whatever works with that. I want to get the accounting set up and really functioning well for the rental. I kind of have just been gathering receipts and waiting to see when everything was going to kind of happen with it, and didn't really start doing the accounting process behind it. I've talked to an accountant and I've talked to an accountant and I'm on the fence of whether doing it myself or attempting to do it myself or using a third-party accounting company to do it for me. It's pretty simple, just a rental company, but I haven't decided yet. And then the last goal that I've set for myself for January is to save $300 this month for my emergency fund for the rental itself. We're going to bid it up to a month to cover a month if no one stays in the house. How do we cover the expenses and everything? So build that up and then kind of work on repairs while building up the emergency fund slowly over time. So those are my goals for January next year. And I look back on the goals that I did and did not accomplish for December. Without further ado, let's jump into my budget breakdown. You know that I've been going through a transition, moving in with my fiance, kind of starting to merge things together, getting ready to get married. So last month, November, was the last month where I really was showing all of my old house expenses on my budget. Now coming into December, they have transitioned fully to the rental business side. None of them are falling under personal expenses, but with this transition, I haven't taken on my fiance's and I's personal expenses now. So it's going to show a really weird amount, but let's get into it. So, like I said, it looks very different right now. Let's go through it and we'll figure it out together. So first one I have here is car insurance for me personally, $71.30 there. Groceries, this is combined between my fiance and I. This is the portion that we kind of agreed on that I would spend towards groceries, which is about $300 a month. That's pre-merge of finances. So we spent $301.70 there. As far as eating out, we went ice cream, McDonald's, pizza, out to breakfast. We kind of just were getting through the month. So I ended up spending $87.08 on eating out this month. As far as gas, we saw a huge amount the first week because I was going back to Boise for getting the rental and doing finals and all the things. And then a little bit just in between the last couple weeks as I was going back and forth. So we saw a big drop as far as gas money spent. We have a business credit of $133.98. So I spent $36.05 personal income on gas. As far as health and maintenance, $200 on counseling, $75 on new shoes because I desperately needed them. So that brings it up to $275 total. As far as fun and other, Jackson had to go to the vet. He had his annual vet appointment and he had to renew his 6-month meds. So we ended up spending $184.99 on his vet appointment and then $194.99 getting 6 months worth of medication for him. And that's for fleas and ticks and just generic things like that. And then I spent $9.51 getting coloring books. We decided with our daughter, we were trying to get out of the kind of like sit on the couch and do nothing at night, because we kind of fell into that pretty hard with sick. So the idea is we're going to try and do different activities, playing games, coloring together. So we got 3 different coloring books. We all have our own crayons and we're just going to spend time coloring, among other things. So I ended up spending $389.49 on fun and other, mostly just Jackson. And then birthdays and holidays, bought flowers for $13.77, $15-ish on Christmas. And then we see a credit in here because I had to return something to Amazon. So I got $41.33 back from what I spent on Amazon previously. So we actually see a gain of $12.56 here. And that brings total personal expenses this month, December, to $1,075.96, which is way different than what it traditionally is. Let's go ahead and see everything broke down for rental expenses, which is its own new little section that I built on here. Biggest expense for the rental house is going to be the mortgage, $1,209. That covers insurance, taxes, and escrow. We didn't owe trash this month, but we did spend $80.50 doing our quarterly sewer payment, and then $64.90 on internet. For water, we're down low. They read the meter before we had tenants move in, so $27.58 there. Electrical, $85.50 because I was keeping it warmer because I was working in the house a little bit more. And then other expenses into the breakdown itself. Maintenance costs, Lowe's, $6.31. Light bulbs, $10.54. Door hardware, just fixing things up there, $3.68. And then I had to return a faucet thingy for the bathtub that didn't work, so I got back $23.59 for a previous month that I spent there. So that came out to $3.06 for maintenance costs. As far as cleaning and landscaping, I paid irrigation $33.79 there. I bought a bunch of cleaning supplies that go in the rental for me to use, for tenants to use, short-term guests primarily there, so $99.95. And then I had a cleaner. I through a family friend, introduced somebody that would be willing to go in and clean the rental when I need it. So that's $55 there. So cleaning and landscaping, $180.74. And then general expenses, we have $133.98 in gas, and this is with a 3% fee per mile for wear and tear on maintenance on the vehicle. Furnish finder fee, which is the the midterm rental company that I'm looking through primarily for traveling workers, healthcare workers. It's an annual fee, $149. I had to pay $36.70 in Airbnb fees, and that's something that they take out but is write-offable on your taxes, so we're going to talk about that here. I found 2 luggage stands at the thrift store for $16. It's a phenomenal find. I really wanted them because I'd read on a couple different forums people talking about being frustrated when they go to an Airbnb, they don't have a place they can just put their luggage and open it up. So I bought 2 of those, $16 there. I did a basic refit of supplies, condiments, soaps, all the things. So I spent $96.31 doing that. And then I had to buy new bedspreads because we have so many beds in the house now. So that was $52.94 there, bringing my general expenses to $484.93, bringing my total rental expenses for December to $14,069.48. Good news is we made income off of it, so we'll see that kind of filter down as we get further. Let's go ahead and jump into my other business expenses. As far as business expenses go, we spent $37.17 on Bluehost. As far as enduring finances, we spent $103.50 on LLC fees. I finally made it a limited liability company that's going to cover rental stuff and everything else, so it's kind of a conglomerate there. And then I had to get a notarized license that I have to apply with the city, so that cost me $85 there. So it brings that total to $188.50. As far as Holy Sweet Photography, we spent $10.72 on SE marketing, $18.87 on printing, and then $6.45 on shipping calendars. So we ended up spending $36.04 there. And then as far as additional income, did not do anything, so we have nothing coming out as far as expenses. So between business expenses and the rental expenses, that brings it to a total of $1,731.19 spent. Let's go ahead and see how my income comes in and plays a factor in this. So for income, we have my VA benefit 2024 fixed rate, $524.31 with that. My GI bill, because I wasn't going for the full month, came in at $885.73. I earned $500 from other. As far as enduring finances, I earned 19 cents off of website ads. Holy Smokes Photography, $14.42 off calendars, and then 33 cents off stock photos, bringing a total income of $14.75, which is way lower than what we have traditionally seen in December. Then we get into the rental house. This is where we kind of go, whoa! So I ended up earning $1,200.10 the first partial month that the rental house was up and running from Airbnb, which is phenomenal. I'm very happy to see that come through. So that brings our income from everything to $3,125.08, meaning we are positive $317.93 this month. We can jump into the little breakdowns here. Rental house, we spent $1,470 and we brought in $1,200, so we're short about $270 there. But as far as the first month goes, fantastic there, especially because we spend a lot of money getting supplies, and we don't do that typically every month. During finances, we ended up spending a lot of money, negative $188, and then Holy Smokes Photography, negative again $21.29. But this is going to wrap up my budget breakdown for 2024, the last month in December. Going into January, we will again see a change come across because I'll be combining finances with my fiance, and we're going to show that in the budget here. We've already discussed it. Net worth will not happen until we get married, just because that's kind of the pass-along effect. So we're taking on bills together, but our net worth is not combining until we are married this summer. But I'm going to leave things here. Hopefully you guys had a fantastic month and a fantastic year and holidays and Happy New Year's, and welcome to 2025. I'll see you next time, guys.